How are you doing? Welcome to Speaking in Your Basement. Today we're just going to talk a little bit about your reason why again. What are you doing this for? I'm suggesting a slight adjustment to it. It might be an addition, it might just be something that's there already that you need to notice a little more completely. I noted when I was in the Army, there was a lot of things they were having me do that I didn't want to do, that I wasn't used to doing, but because I didn't want to get in trouble, I begrudgingly did them. There was an attention to detail in uniform that I was absolutely not used to. But I had to humor, I had to do it because I was in the Army. And again, I don't want to be doing extra push ups. I didn't want to be getting in trouble, anything else. So I went along with it. Not to mention, all the PT and the extra things that went along with that job. But there was a variety of things that really stood out to me there. And I didn't like doing it because it felt like I was being forced from the outside to do it. The cool thing about it was it got me to actually do it. There are several things, like physical things that I did in basic training, the Eagle Run and the road march near the end. There's a variety of things that I wouldn't have thought I would have been able to do had I not done them. And I probably would have never done them had it not been to be a part of something. I didn't want to let down. It wasn't just me doing it for me. It was me not wanting to let down the rest of the squad, the platoon. It was me wanting to fit in with the successful social norm, essentially. So there's a great power in having daily habits that you perform. I think everybody knows that. I haven't heard anybody argue with that. But a lot of the daily habits we perform, they're to more or less stay out of trouble. They're more or less to keep other people satisfied. They're more or less to fit into the social norm. When you decide to do something for you, for your own reasons, and do it consistently, I can't describe to you how different it feels on the other side of that. And it's never done. Again, a daily practice is only a daily practice so long as you continue to do it every day. But it's very powerful so long as you continue to do it every day. And this isn't a huge deal if you miss a day here or there. The issue is the momentum over time. And the same way a single success doesn't give you that momentum of time, a single miss doesn't remove that momentum over time. So as long as you keep coming back to it, if you miss a day here or there, no big deal. But the satisfaction of that is profound. And I don't know all the reasons why, but part of it is that you're doing it for you. I noticed when I just would do these things for other people, for whatever girl I was dating or married to, or whatever else the situation was, whatever job, employer, when I'm doing it for someone else, or when I'm doing it to feel like I fit in with someone else, that social pressure, a lot of people use this to get started on things, and I get that. So the whole report your successes on social media or to whatever group or an accountability partner or something like that, that's useful to get started, but it's not going to give you the same satisfaction if you just choose to do it for your own reasons and keep doing it. And maybe it's worth starting that way if you have to start that way, and then eventually just go to your own accountability, just do it for you. But that satisfaction of doing something for you and to do it consistently, it's something like taking care of someone. Because it's one thing to say things. There's a lot of things with affirmations and personal development programs that are, tell you to visualize and, say affirmations, write down goals. There's not usefulness in that. There is usefulness in that, but it's very different from actually taking the action. Writing down a goal to, say, do 100 push-ups in a day isn't the same as actually doing the 100 push-ups. And if you only get 10 push-ups in, that's still better than writing down the goal of doing 100. I noticed this when I had kids, raising my daughters. Of course, I say all the things you're supposed to say, right? I tell them I love you. I tell them how special you are, how much you mean to me. I say all those things, and I feel all those things. But what has more impact with me than that is all the things I do to do my best to turn them into reasonably happy, healthy people, or help them become healthy, happy people as they grow up. And the interesting thing is, no one ever really told me clearly, I guess until relatively recently, I've seen it mentioned online by a few speakers, that you're supposed to do that with yourself. That you're really supposed to treat yourself as a person worth taking care of. It's no problem with affirmations. There's no problem with, self-love, saying you love yourself. There's no problem with the visualization, with all those things. That's great. Have all that. But what about the daily practice of just taking care of you? Part of that's nutrition and diet and getting enough sleep and all those things. But what about meaningful activities that you enjoy? My oldest daughter loves art, loves paint, loves drawing and a variety of different things. She does both digitally and physically with art. And if I gave her good food and made sure she got enough sleep and made sure she made it to school on time, all these other odds and ends, that'd be good. But then if I didn't let her have time to work on her art, although there would be some help there, there'd be something big and important missing. I wouldn't want to do that to my daughter. I wouldn't want to do that to anybody. But a lot of us are moving through life with that big, important thing missing. And we're just going through like, well, I got to eat, I got to sleep. You're just covering the basics and you're not adding that deep meaning into your life. Like you're someone you really care about. Like you're someone who should be treated like you want you to become the healthiest, happiest person you can, just like assumably you would for your kids, just like I do for my kids. Do you want yourself to become healthy and happy? And more importantly, are you willing to go beyond just affirmations and visualizations and writing down goals? Are you willing to actually take the steps consistently to see yourself become a more healthy, happy person? That's why I say with your speaking practice, you got to keep in mind how much it is for you, how meaningful it is to you, and let it be your thing. And if everybody thinks you're crazy, so much the better. The more resistance there is against that, fit those few minutes in. It just has to be a few. It doesn't have to be much. But every day, your satisfaction is going to grow because it's coming from something deeper inside you. It's coming for that longing to be taken care of. Now, your parents probably did the best they could do. We could argue about, parents doing good jobs, bad jobs, what constitutes a good job or a bad job. But they're probably all inadequate. I love my parents. I'm very appreciative for everything they gave me. But, if I wanted to be critical, I could certainly find things I wish they did. But that's really not important now. You're in your care now. The important thing is, how are you going to take care of yourself moving forward? The best parents in the world couldn't do it perfect. So even if you had the best parents in the world, there were gaps. Well, that's on you now. How are you going to fill those gaps moving forward? How are you going to take care of yourself the way you ought to be taken care of? Not how are you just going to say you care, not how much are you just going to visualize it or write down the goals. How much are you going to show you care? How much are you going to do the actual activity of caring? It doesn't have to do with feelings that much. Half the time you may not feel like doing it, particularly at the beginning. But if you do it anyway, that's what shows that you care. There's plenty of times where I'm sleepy and don't feel like doing anything else, but my kids ask me for something, and within reason, I'll do it for them. It's because I actually care, not just because I feel like doing it all the time. Acting in spite of your feelings proves something. It means something. When you don't feel like taking care of yourself, but you take care of yourself anyway, that builds a momentum of esteem, satisfaction, meaning that I don't think you can get anywhere else, because it has to do with you and how you're taking care of you, and no one else can give that to you. You have to decide upon it for yourself. So with speaking, why is this meaningful to you? And how much more meaningful for you is it going to be when you decide to do it just for you, day after day, week after week, month after month, and year after year? Make sure you're getting in your practice today. Make sure you're taking the time to take care of yourself. Thank you for spending some time with me today. We will talk again soon.